We begin with the Indian markets, which have hit a fresh lifetime high, opening for trade on Monday with the Nifty scaling past the 23,300 mark for the first time ever, as investors cheered exit poll outcomes which indicated a clear mandate for the BJP-led NDA. My colleague Suyash Maheshwari now joins us with the latest on the action on Dalal Street. Suyash, what a market opening it has been for India.
Certainly a historic day for the Indian markets, Krishna, as you rightly mentioned. Now, both in Sensex and Nifty opened gap up and hit a record high right at the word go. Now, since then, the exuberance has kind of tapered off, but Nifty is still holding above that 3% mark. It's up about 3%. Sensex, which by the way also climbed above 76,000 level for the first time, is also holding to gains of about 2,000 points. Now, it's not just your headliners that are rallying. Multiple pockets of the market have also hit a record high as well. The small cap index, the mid cap index, both are at record high. Nifty Bank, by the way, is also up 3%. It has also claimed that, a historic level of about 50,000 points as well, right at the word go. Most of these stocks in the index are trading in the green. Now, what's leading to this exuberance, you may ask? Of course, this exit polls that came out on Saturday indicate a clear majority win for Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led NDA government this time around. A sweeping victory with most polls expecting about a 350 seat win for the incumbent government. Now, the real question is, can we trust these, trust the exit polls? Krishna, you see about 60 crore people vote in this country, and the test pool for these exit polls is about, 8 to 10 lakh people. So if you're trying to do the math, that's less than 0.015%. So if you don't, your statistician heads, the test pool is clearly not big enough, but, what we know at least, the victory will be big for, NDA government this time around. And there are other factors that are at play also. Remember, GDP numbers also came out after the market hours on Friday. Again, we, both for the March quarter as well as FY25, the figure exceeded what the market was expecting. GST numbers also came out on Sunday. A figure of 1.73 lakh was, crossed this time around, which is a 10% increase on a year-on-year basis. So multiple reasons for the market to celebrate.
Multiple reasons for the markets to celebrate. One more thing, Suyash, the volatility index, much talked about volatility index also seems to be down.
Certainly, Krishna, and I think that stands out to me because, volatility index, India VIX, which, gives us a gauge of how uncertain the market is going to be going forward, has declined by about 20%. Remember, we were talking about all through the elections that how India VIX went from at level of about 10% to about 24%. That's almost a, 150% increase in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks. But since then, it has, sort of declined, and this morning is down about 20%. So it provides some bit of a clarity for the investor, and I think that's why we are seeing that major decline or pullback in India VIX as well.
Major pullbacks in the India volatility index. The question here at this stage, it's been such a phenomenal run-up right after the exit poll. Is there any upside left once the final results come out on the 4th of June? That's tomorrow, Suyash.
Certainly, that's a brilliant question, and it's anyone's guess, right? See, how I look at it, exit polls were the semi-finals. The finals will be on June 4th. We'll see what happens then. But, speaking to the experts day in, day out, there are particularly 3 themes that they are picking, which the Modi government has, focused on in their previous 2 terms, is the defense sector, its railways and infrastructure. So if you're invested in that, if you see this morning as well, most of the stocks in this space are rallying from about 5 to 10%. So perhaps that could be a theme that one could look at going forward.
All right. The only other question at this stage is that have they run up too much already? Is there any chance of a rebalancing, or may I use that dreaded term, correction going forward after all this phenomenal run-up? Because there was in fact a run-up even before, a small run-up even before the exit poll results came out.
Right, certainly. I mean, when the markets are at all-time high, there is a chance of intermittent corrections as the market continues to, go in the upward trajectory. But remember, historically speaking, the markets have felt the jitters, around the election time. But before the election and after the election, the markets have been on an upward trajectory and they tend to do well. So apart from the volatility that we will see perhaps play out this week, the markets are expected to do well over the next few. And this is not me speaking, this is the experts, that we have been speaking to that indicate that the inherent strength of Indian economy continues to, shine in a world of uncertainty where, our peers are struggling from a macroeconomic level, from a geopolitical level. India continues to be in this Goldilocks sort of a situation where inflation is tapering off nicely and your economy, multiple indicators indicate, your PMI index for both services as well as manufacturing, GDP numbers, they indicate a robust economy, Krishna.
Robust economy, yes, but in the recent past, especially in the last two general elections, so you see, especially the last one, 2019, when the results came out on the 25th of May, 2019, markets actually witnessed a correction. They were down in the red on counting day.
Yes, so the session overall was extremely volatile. We saw Nifty rally as much as about 1.5% to 2%, and from there on it ultimately settled in the red. And not just this time around, you go back to 2004 when Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, which was expected to come back to power, did not come back. The markets corrected by about 12.2%. In the following elections, the market rallied by about 17.7%. So I think it's a wait and watch for us how the markets will react come counting day. But I think from what we understand, the expectation is that at least the final tally for the NDA government will be around the 350 mark. Even multiple exit polls, at least 3 exit polls are also suggesting that they could perhaps, cross that 400 mark as well.
Okay, there was lots of talk about how, the markets have already factored in the 400 par or 400 plus tally for the NDA at the beginning of the month of May, but then through the month of May, you saw so much jitters, worries, concerns. Will the NDA be able to, cobble up the kind of numbers they did last time around? Will they be, falling short? Those kind of jitters plaguing markets. But now, post these exit poll results, if has the markets now at these levels factored in a 400 plus tally, or do you think, post when the results come out, there'll be that, further upshot?
I think they have not actually factored a 400 plus tally, because if you see the exit polls indicate that BJP and NDA could rake in about 350 seats, right? And the markets have rallied by about 3% or so this morning. So clearly, the expectation was that it would come below that 350 mark, perhaps 300 to 330 was what the market was expecting earlier, before the exit polls came out. But this morning, where we are seeing that the final tally could be around the 350 point range, we are seeing the markets rally by about 3% and historic highs for that matter, Krishna.
Right, which means that when the final tally comes out, if it's above 400, expect more upside. That's a clear possibility. Suyash, Maheshwari, they're joining us with the latest on the market action in India. Thank you, Suyash, for that.